Connie and Doug, there was a lot of hushed conversations between Republican senators throughout this afternoon trying to add up the numbers. How close were they? As you said, Connie, there are 40 Republican members of the Senate and only 19 votes for this measure, so over half of the caucus voted against it. It is possible for a plane to take off with losing an engine.
Right.
What I just heard from that aviation expert, Lad Sanger, who's based in Texas, who I'm going to be putting together a package with him in a couple hours, is that probably the main issue here with this one is that, yes, they lost one engine under the wing, but as they were taking off, they also lost the second engine on the tail. This intersection of 12th Street and Rowan Street will be turned into one of the main entrances for Waterfront Park. People like Meadows think that this will not only attract folks living in the West End, but also more businesses. Misty, do you have anything to say about what you knew about this throughout the last 6 years? I just wondered if you could comment on why you would forward this information to someone who's no longer the lead detective on the case. While Ferguson and her neighbors are in the purple, the last group identified as part of Phase 2, and that means there has been at least an 8-year time difference in when people got their insulation based on if they lived on the west side of Alexander Avenue or the east side. 3 hours of testimony and arguments Tuesday was all about whose job was it to pick up those semi-automatic pistols and turn them over to state police. Noel's attorneys argued he was confident that every gun in his house minus one shotgun had been turned over and it was an honest mistake. But Judge Medlock said it was always Noel's responsibility to make sure his bond conditions were upheld.
I told Mr. Noel, don't do anything stupid. Do not try to deceive me, defy me. You will not like the consequences. Today is that day.
With a vicious swing, Judge Larry Medlock sent Jamie Noel back to jail. He swung so hard, he broke the gavel block up on his bench.
You don't interpret the law. You don't enforce the law. You're not above the law.
Noel was originally arrested on November 9th and told to turn over all firearms except for one shotgun. He called brother-in-law Bradley Kramer and another man named Charlie Moon and asked them to go through his house and pick up his guns. He gave directions over the phone.
I collected the guns that I saw, yes, sir.
And you felt like you got them all?
I felt like I got the guns where he directed me to find them.
The pair grabbed 82 guns. However, Indiana State Police later found 2 Smith & Wesson pistols while serving a search warrant on March 13th. They were still in factory packaging.
Well, when I moved the chair out, inside that box was 2 Smith & Wesson boxes.
In closing arguments, Noel's attorney said it was not willful intent to violate a court order.
Do people make mistakes? Of course they do. But we know that those guns have been purchased since 2017 and they're in the same box, haven't been disturbed, haven't been out.
But Medlock was unmoved.
Every time I go into court, I hear, I didn't know it was there. I didn't know it was there. Take him into custody.
As for how many days?
You know what I think the answer is? 60 days in.
Perhaps a reference to the A&E show called 60 Days In that Noel did in 2016. In Jeffersonville, Travis Breese for the WHAS 11 night team on your side.
19 ayes, 31 noes. This bill has been defeated.
A no vote after 3 hours of debate on Thursday. Republicans in favor of the maps saying they can impact what happens in D.C.
The morning after the election in November and find out we lost the House of Representatives by 1 vote. If I knew that I did that, I would feel horrible.
Democrats say the only motivation is from outside Indiana, and the maps would challenge the sanctity of elections.
Instead of merit, we are saying that we are prioritizing a letter next to a name on a ballot with predetermined election results predicated on party affiliation.
With protesters chanting outside, many Republicans also spoke against the plan.
This map, drawn primarily by somebody not from here,
gerrymander so aggressively that it splits precincts across the state.
Ultimately, more Republicans voted against it than for it, and the measure failed. I asked Senator Young a question in the hallway after the vote. Is this going to lead to any divisions within the party?
I don't know, but who are you with?
WHS 11 in Louisville and Southern Indiana.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I don't know. The other side won. We don't tend to be too upset about it, so our side.
Do you think that this chamber and the leadership of this chamber did all that it could to try to get this passed?
No, they did all they could to kill it.
He said they did everything they could to kill it. Do you have any response to that?
I do. You know, typically my style is to let people vote like they want. Come with a yes or come with a no, which is exactly what I did this time.
Bray says he is prepared for some backlash from Washington, D.C., but hopes it is minimal. He feels his chamber dealt with this issue by the rules and with integrity. Republican Governor Mike Braun said after this vote that it has consequences, and he will work with President Trump to challenge those Republicans who voted against this map. That will assumedly mean primarying them up against candidates who more staunchly support the president. In a very crowded backyard in Shepherdsville, Kentucky,
my dad one time said that his dream was to own a junkyard.
Emily Howell sees the axles and alternators from her past.
I totaled that one, but I still think there's hope for it.
One car she does not want to see again is this one, a red 1996 GMC Sierra.
I get aggravated at the whole situation.
She bought the car at a public auction at the LMPD impound lot for $1,026. It may seem like a lot for a 27-year-old car with condition truly unknown. For her, it was more about what came with the truck.
The kayak and the fishing poles that were pictured is ultimately why I upped the bid and just went for it.
The pictures on the auction post included 2 toolboxes, several fishing poles, a kayak, and a rolling dolly. And it said, carefully review the pictures and make your own value determination.
Like, that's just the only thing in the picture, so there was nothing to lead me to believe it wasn't going to be there.
Howell went to pay her invoice and watched as the tow truck driver she contracted hooked up the truck.
And that's when I noticed the kayak was no longer on top.
When it got dropped off in her driveway, she took her own photos and saw all the outdoor gear was gone.
The toolbox in the back is raised up because you can tell somebody rummaged through it.
Tow lot employees told her the previous owner had a court order to get his belongings back, but they wouldn't give her a copy. Howell gave us the name of the man she tracked down as the previous owner, and a court media representative told us no such order existed. She also messaged the man on Facebook, and he said he couldn't get his items because he was in jail at the time.
I know that he did not get his items out of that truck.
LMPD told us people can get items out of impounded vehicles up until the sale is final. They would answer no questions specifically about Howell's case. So where did this stuff go? I submitted an open records request for video of the truck in a specific area of the impound lot called the auction corral for 6 nights before the sale went final. My video request was denied, saying the records were part of an active criminal investigation, and the suspects in this investigation are unaware that they are acting within a camera, and the premature release of the requested video would tip them off that they are under criminal investigation.
You don't steal from people. You don't take things that aren't yours.
LMPD would not confirm its involvement in any investigation. Howell has heard nothing about the investigation, and she's chalked up this whole experience as a loss. I don't want to insult you, but did it make you feel like I got taken advantage of?
Oh, absolutely.
A picture was worth $1,000, especially one with tools, fishing poles, and a kayak. But Emily Howell can't float down the river on a picture. Travis Breese, WHAS 11 on your side.